Okay, John, I'm going to try to do a better job on this one than I have in previous attempts. But anyway, um, I have the actuator in place. I'm going to show you the mechanics first. And as I mentioned on the phone, I'm using your top widget to pull down the, or pull back the tiller. And I just fashioned a plate on there with some adjustment on so I could do some experimenting. This was just luck. I did some measuring and thought 12 inches would be sufficient, and it is. I could have gone with a 10, but I don't think it would have worked. I mean, I could have ordered a 10. So that's basically how it hooks up. And yes, all this space down here is becoming problematic, but I'm going to make something that fits sort of around stuff. While I'm looking at this part here, I applied some grease here and above up here, and that really made things work a lot easier. I think you were mentioning today that I could put some WD-40, maybe some grease in here for this fitting, and that should help. But it was really binding up down here. This is the new linear actuator in servo mode. I got this from this other company, P-O-L-O-L-U, Polu. And this is my control box for both of these things. It's right here. What you're looking at is a couple of circuits. This is the dual channel controller that's running in servo mode, and this little board over here is what talks to my controller. Now this is not in its final stage, this is just what I got initially. Put a couple of connectors on there, and I'm running the power off a power supply for right now. So I've got the tiller in its normal position, and I'm going to run it back so that it's basically would be out of the water. And I've got my pot turned all the way in one direction, and I've made some adjustments in the software which I can do with some switches so it doesn't touch. And you'll notice that I still have a clearance, not a clearance issue right now because I've got it set that way, but I'm getting pretty close to the bracket. I'm going to cut this off, and that's going to be a bit of a trick. And now I'm going to bring it back up into its normal mode. And you'll also notice that I've carved out a chunk of the bracket. That's so it doesn't hit the boat down here. Almost poked a hole in it the first time. So that works really well. I'm happy with it. I'm not sure why I need it, but I am happy with it. The other control knob here is the tiller position, and if I can do this so you can see what I'm talking about, I just move it to a position and it goes there. If I do it really fast, it runs at full speed. Or I can just set it where I want it and leave it alone and it'll stay there. That's about neutral. So that works really well. And I'll show it to you from this angle. Running full tilt by swinging the pot from side to stop to stop. And there I am in the sort of neutral position. So that's kind of how it works. I've got another board just like this, which I'm going to be putting in another case with the new pots. Hopefully I'll get those someday. And then my speed control is going to be another circuit, which is currently on this piece here, which you've seen, that sits on my chair. And previously I had the toggle set up for the steering and forward, reverse, and then the motor speed. Well, all that and all the electronics that goes with it, believe it or not, is going to be fitted, if I can find the darn thing. I don't know where I put it now. It's in this box I'm looking in right now, John. Bear with me. Okay. Well, here, these two devices here, these Wixel programmable USB wireless modules, are what I'm going to attempt to use to do the wireless connection between my hand controller and the main controller up here. And then the other device that I'm going to be using, this is a 25 amp, believe it or not. This little circuit card here handles 25 amps continuous, and this will be my main motor controller. It's pretty cool. And here's my Arduino. These are tiny. I didn't realize how small they were. I'm sure I've seen them in people's hands, but they are really tiny. So that's the whole microcomputer on a board thing. And like you mentioned, you can stack things on top of it. These black connectors here allow you to put what they call shields and other things on top of them. So this is pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about it. We'll see how it goes. Okay, John, I think that's about it. My neighbors always wonder why I'm talking to myself, but not my problem. Talk to you later, John. Thanks.